Hey FlossTube, it's Carol, Saltbox Stitcher. I'm finally back from all my travels and sort of feel like I'm a day late and a dollar short. Day late because it's been a long time since I did a video and I'm sorry, but I was gone a lot of the time. And then a dollar short because I shot my wad. But, I had planned it, so it's all good. I may have to stop this video at some point. I'm kind of waiting for a couple customers to come pick up quilts, but I didn't want to wait any longer to start my video. So anyway, first of all, I'll talk about Midwest, and I think I'm probably one of the last people to talk about the Midwest cross-stitch retreat put on by farm girl Michelle Rudy, fabulous, fabulous organizer of retreats, because it was everything you wanted and more. And so a big thank you to her. And it was so fun. But I'll talk about that first, and then I'm going to talk about Country Sampler. Let's have a moment of silence in honor of my new favorite store. And then I'm going to talk about the things I bought at Country Sampler, and then the things I picked up from framing at Heart's Desire in Wichita. And so I'm hoping it won't go super, super long. My husband thinks my videos are way too long, so maybe I should do more often and less time each time. So if I don't finish this, I'm hoping to come back before Thanksgiving, because I do want to show you all my Christmas things I've stitched. So anyway, I kind of wanted to do a whip parade too, because I have a couple finishes and I have a lot of choices to what to stitch next. So anyway, first of all, the retreat was in Minneapolis. I think I'm going to start collecting these. My daughter collects them and has for some time. These are the Starbucks mugs that you get at Starbucks from, wherever city you're at. And she even has some international ones. And in fact, she has probably about 10 of them. So all the places she's been, I could probably have her get me one the next time she goes. But anyway, I just think they're fun to collect them. So anyway. First thing, I wanted to show a picture, which I'm going to insert right here, of all of the people. We took a final picture of all of the attendees at the Midwest Cross Stitch Retreat. Now, does this remind you of anything? I'm kind of in the middle with a red striped shirt on. Where's Waldo? That's the first thing I thought of when I saw that. I was like, oh my goodness, it's going to be so easy to find me because where's Waldo? Oh, I think I have way too many striped clothes. But anyway, it is what it is. So it was in Minneapolis. I got there on a Thursday. My sister picked me up from the airport. Timing was perfect because she drove all the way from Wichita. And so she picked me up. We went for lunch, and then we went to Stitchville, and Stitchville was wonderful, wonderful. A great, great shop. Loaded, 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 loaded with everything you'd need for cross stitch. They have all the fibers. I was thrilled to find they had Tudor silks, they had needlepoint silks, they had just the fibers, the linen selection, everything was fabulous. I'm not going to show you this time everything I bought there, but I got some charts. I got some new Dovo scissors. I'll show you these later. I got a couple of the cute little tape measures. My grandson, they like pull out and then they retract. My grandson had played with one, and he pulled it all the way out, and of course then it wouldn't go back in. So I told my daughter, you owe me one of these. So when I found the exact same one, I was like, oh, I have to get it to replace mine. Anyway, So I got there Thursday night. As I was checking in, there was Linda Joe, Pretty Southern, and Susie Reno. We're both checking in at the same time. So it was like a moment, because you feel like you know these people, but you kind of don't, but you feel like you do because you've watched them so many times on their videos. So that was really fun. Got checked into our room. Our room was ready, so we got checked in, went then to the stitch room, started stitching. And Thursday was kind of a little by little people were showing up because a lot of people didn't come till Friday. So we were able to get some stitching done and had dinner that night. The food was fabulous. And then Friday, more and more people started coming. And so the first exchange was Friday night, and that was our smalls exchange. And I had taken a small, and unfortunately, I didn't take a picture of it. I might have a picture. If I have one, I'll insert it here. That is from all of the smalls. There were pictures. I mean, everybody took pictures when we laid them all out at the end after we had done the exchange. But anyway, I made it was a little pin pillow. It had the 2 witches' feet. I actually had made that for myself, and then I stitched another one. And kind of a matching project bag. And Suzette, Primitive Stitcher, ended up stealing that from somebody else, and so she ended up with it. So that was fun. But my number, we had tickets, and my number was called fairly quickly. And there were 15 out of the 60, 70 people that brought smalls that were able to steal. And if you've ever done that, some people call it Chinese auction. There's all kinds of names for it. But the person after you or the next person who has that steal can then take whatever one that's already been opened. Well, mine, I opened it, and I can't even tell you who it was from, but it was a beautiful piece. And I heard somebody say it was finished by Vanna. So I was like, oh, I was so excited. And I came back to my seat. The very next person had a steal, and they came right away and took it. So if you were the one that stitched that first one, would you please let me know? Because it was beautiful, and I would have loved to kept it, but it was what it was. That's part of the game. So anyway, I went right back up and picked another box. And once you have had something stolen from you, then you get to keep whatever. In other words, you can't have 2 steals. So I was delighted. This is gorgeous. This was made by Lisa Reel or Ryle, and I can't remember how she pronounced her name. I think I said both, and she said, yeah, that's right. And I was like, I think it's Reel. But it's a piece here, and it's a Scarlet House piece, and it's a box, obviously, and she's put cording around the edge. It's beautifully stitched. And then the box opens, and inside, here we go. Oh, the pattern is Bonnie's Bittersweet by Scarlet House, Lisa Reel. And she filled it with more goodies. Look at this. Bowen needles, which are exactly the sizes I use, 24, 26, 28. Some favorite floss, and she finished all this. Some beautiful pumpkin pins. Some perfect autumn floss, and of course, right there on the top is Schoolhouse Red, which is my favorite red. A beautiful needle minder. I can't get it out because it's sticking to the scissors. And a pair of scissors and a fob on the end of the scissors and a needle threader. Isn't that fabulous? Can you see all that? And it's lined in like a felt black, and then this is all padded with the cording. It's a treasure. It's a treasure. And I loved the first piece I got, but I lucked out too. So anyway, love it, love it, love it. I probably will keep it out year round, even though it's kind of fallish, but it's fabulous. So that's what I got in the smalls exchange. and it was very fun. It was really fun. If you've watched some of the other videos, Susie Reno, she has a great story about hers and how it was almost stolen by Kelly of Joan and Kelly. So that was fun. And then Saturday, let's see, behind the conference center, there was a huge lake, and you could walk all around there. And I think it was like a mile and a half. And my sister loves to walk, so she was like, come on, let's go walk. Well, my knees don't always hold up, but they did great. And we went out and walked, and it was just beautiful. It was those crispy yellow leaves falling off the trees, and as you walk, you crunch them, and it was fabulous. So anyway, I think I see my customer coming, so I'm going to pause, and I will be back. Okay, I'm back. So I've been inundated with quilts again, but it's all good. It's all good. Just keeps me busy. So anyway, Saturday night we had the gift exchange. We had goodie bags. There was tables of freebies you could go through. There was the raffle. So a lot of people have gone through all of that, and I will mention the gift or the project that we got from Teresa Kitten Stitcher. Beautiful. And she had a few of these candle stands, so I bought one of those from her. Haven't started it, but very excited. And we got a little needle minder and lots of stuff to go with it, so that's very exciting. And I will be glad to do that, but probably not till next spring. And then in my goodie bag, I had some floss from Jen's Stitching Niche and a pattern. I got these. This is a Raise the Roof, which is Susie Reno and Teresa Vanette. And got this one, Black Sheep Redo. Absolutely love this little witch gal. I think she's hilarious and very cute. And I like this house here. And different people got different ones of these. And then got this one, a Halloween truck, which is adorable. I think if I did it, I would just do the bottom part. I don't know. Anyway, when I do it, not if I do it, we'll do it at some point. Anyway, a lot of the other stuff, I did get some more patterns, and I think I put some of them away. I had so much stuff. You're going to think I'm crazy. So anyway, and then the retreat ended on Sunday. I personally think one of the best part of the retreat was just getting to connect with people. Had a wonderful lady named Neela sat next to me, and she watches floss tube, doesn't do floss tube. Was a fabulous stitcher. She was working on a couple pieces that were Shakespeare's Peddler, and wonderful, wonderful, really great lady. And I was glad to connect with her. We had Holly and Anita at our table. We had Jen from Jen's Stitching Niche. Teresa, although she was you know, the she was the gadabout that kind of went around and visited every table, and rightly so, because you know she's famous. Even if she is my BFF, she's famous. Who else did we have at our table? My sister, Marlene from Stitching by the Lake, Kathleen's Trodden Trail, and she brought me some finishing for my rug, and I was very thankful. So thank you very much, Kathleen. You gave me a lot of information, and it's going to help. And Suzette, Primitive Stitcher, and she actually went with us to Stitchville again on Saturday. My sister had her 2 car seats in the back of her car for her grandkids, which is sort of like what I have, you know. And there was just, I mean, a space about this big that between the car seats. And when Suzette said, "Can I go with you to Stitchville?" we were like, "Oh, sure, sure." And then Deb was like, "Oh, I forgot I have the car seats in the back seat." And we said, "Well, we'll take one out." Well, rather than take one out, which was kind of a pain, Suzette fit in that little space. She is petite and tiny. And somewhere, because there were, let's see, Lori, textilist, me, Suzerino, Suzette, we were the 5 and under club. Actually, I'm 5'1", but anyway, somebody took a picture. I think it was Lisa Kindred Stitcher. I'm not sure, but we called it the 5 and under club. So there are a bunch of us little short gals there too. So anyway, it was a great retreat. I already signed up for next year, which is going to be in the Amana colonies in Iowa, and it's going to have Brenda Gervais. So get on the waiting list. Even if you didn't come this year, get on the waiting list because you never know, you might be picked. So anyway, the one other thing I wanted to show you from is my gift, and I have to apologize because the lady that I got the stitchy gift from sat behind me at a table on the side, and I, for the life of me, cannot remember her name. So, and she didn't have her name on anything. So, I apologize. Please, please, please tell me your name in the comments so that I can publicly thank you because you made a great gift. My stitchy gift, and if I show you what it says, then I'm going to show you the chart. So it just says, "Don't make me flip my witch switch." And you use the plastic canvas. You stitch it on there, cut it out, put it here, and it has some tack, so you can tack that on. And the little witch hat, and she even gave me the floss to do it. So I didn't get it done this year, but I for sure will next year because I think it's adorable. And then with that, she gave me a beautiful project bag. Isn't that cute? Love that scarecrow and the pumpkins and the sunflowers. Just love it. And it's lined with that beautiful check. Thank you, thank you, thank you. So please, if you watch my videos, please let me know your name so that I can thank you publicly because it was fabulous. And I will store some more of my whips in the project bag because I have plenty. Okay, so the next thing on Sunday then, it was probably about a 4-hour drive. We drove from Minneapolis to Spring Green, Wisconsin, and we actually got to Spring Green after the Country Sampler was closed for the day, but they left a key for us, and so we were able to get up to our room because we stayed at the little apartment that is above the store. I was really in seventh heaven. My only complaint was we hardly had very much Wi-Fi. And so it was like, but you know, that's kind of a good thing sometimes when you really feel like you're unplugged. And that's how it was. They had a little stitching area. They had a big sewing area. If you rented, it was minimum of 2 nights stay, which we stayed there Sunday night, Monday night. And it was just the most peaceful. And I talked to Jeannie Horton the next day at the store, and she said, if you think it's peaceful then, come back when it's snowing. She said, it's just beautiful. It's just a quaint little town with a cute little street that the store is on, and it was so cute. This is a picture of my sister and I. I'll insert that as we were standing out front of the Country Sampler. I was in seventh heaven. So anyway, do you want to see what I got? I posted a post on Instagram and said, "Oh yeah," and everybody was like, "Show us your loot, show us your loot." So anyway, I'll have to show you. I'm gonna have to go fast through this because there's a lot. I'm even gonna save the bag. Is that crazy? That's crazy. Okay. This is going to be just like... Okay, first of all, I want to say... oh, and I didn't grab my quilt kits that I got. I got like 3 quilt kits for small quilts. I might pause and go get that in a minute. So... everything in the store has a very antique and reproduction and just that kind of a vibe. It's exactly what I love. So I was asking them, how do you get this look with, what linen do you use? And what they said was that they actually dull it down. And their idea of dulling it down is to take a piece, and their stitcher will take the threads, and they actually even have a little write-up how they do this that they give you. And she will soak the threads in hot water until all of the extra or the bleeding comes out. It still retains the color, obviously, but the excess color kind of comes out. Then she stitches the piece, and after the piece is stitched, she then uses walnut crystals. And according to the directions, she mixes the walnut crystals, which I have some, and she then uses a paintbrush, or like one of those artist sponge brushes, and paints the darker color onto the linen after the piece is stitched. I don't know. I don't know. But I'm going to try it. So the first piece that I really kind of feel like I can legitimately try, and I may not get till next spring, I don't know, but I'm definitely going to do it because I love the look. And some of these I have left intact, so you'll just have to, I'll try the best to get the best lighting, because I didn't want to try to unwrap all this because they're just beautifully packaged. So the first one is this one, which is a Plum Street. And we've all seen this. I think it came out in the summer maybe. And it calls for a pink linen. Here's the threads. See that? It's hard to tell on screen, but it's pretty pink. It's almost what I would call a baby pink. The color you're seeing is the color I would like it to end up to be, kind of a peachy pink. So I'm going to try it. Now some of these are DMC and some of them are overdyes on this piece, but I'm going to try it. And a lot of times in their kits, they don't necessarily put the called for. Jeannie goes through and she will dull down the colors if she feels like they're too bright or whatever. But anyway, okay, I'm gonna keep going. Oh, these were a couple. I'm jumping around. Are you dizzy? These are a couple patterns that I got at the retreat that were in the, was it called the freebie room? No, it wasn't called the freebie room. Anyway, they were in that room where we could go, and once your number was called, then you go in and you could pick whatever you want. Sorry, I didn't realize I had stuck those in there. This is the next piece that I got at the Country Sampler. And these are the threads. See, now this has kind of a peachy overtone, and there it looks tan. So I apologize. You try to get the color to look like it is. I'm sorry. Did you need to go get something to drink? It's going to take a while. This is the new Plum Street Blue Skin. Well, it's not new. It came out a little while ago. And this is a whole kit. It has the linens. They had it into a little pillow. The linen is right here. It's kind of a Confederate gray looking linen. I had fun. Oh, this is a piece I got at Stitchville. And I picked up the threads for that. I loved that. Has a piece of wool down here. Loved it. So I guess I've mixed stuff in, so I'm sorry. You just have to forgive me. This one I got at Stitchville. Good Adam and Eve. It's a Barbara Anna design. Henrietta Goodrich. This one was by Threadwork Primitives, Never Fading. I love that big alphabet. Sorry. Okay. This one I got at Stitchville. I apologize. I forgot that I had put everything in one bag. And they had that stitched up as a model. That was very cute. This one I got at Stitchville. Kathy Barrick. Calls for needlepoint silk, so I went ahead and got that. It's called My Day Complete. Let's see. Is it better like that? This one I got at Stitchville. I love that. It's a spot sampler. It's by Needlework Press. I'm not going to pronounce it. Patronia Arandes, 1834. That was my little tiny bit of Spanish I took a long time ago. And I got the Tudor silks for that. We have a needlework store here in Jacksonville. They do have a lot of threads, although they have minimum silks. But if you need a good overdyed, they have a great selection. They have some linen, a lot of 28, 26, 30, 32 count. They don't have a lot of like 40 count. She'll order for me if I need it. So I do occasionally, I do shop there. Her big thing is needlepoint and knitting. So if you come to Jacksonville, Stitch in Time is the name of the shop. And if you're looking for knitting, she does have a good supply of that. Here's another one I got. I'm pretty sure I got this one at Country Sampler. Tender Father Sampler. It says, love the Lord with all your heart and he will be a tender father unto thee. Tree of Life samplings. Love that. This one I got at Country Sampler. Samplers Remembered. Katrine Thompson. Another Adam and Eve. Love it. This is a Plum Street. This has been out a little while, I think. Plum Street Antiques. And this was another one that, I'm sorry, that's really kind of hard to see. Elizabeth Sarah Oliver. And this is one that they really had dulled down. You can see how the threads and the linen. A lot of these were samples. They had the models. This one, I'm thinking they had just gotten back from their framing. This is a weird day. What the heck? Is that better? I do have fun. This is by GGR, and what the heck? Anyway, my hairdresser he says, you part your hair on the wrong side. So I guess everybody has like a side that your hair is supposed to part on. And so when I come home from getting my hair cut, it's always goes this way. And I do it this way. So that was a little tidbit of information that you don't really need to know, but there it is. This one, okay, so right next to where they have their checkout area, they had this setting like on the floor. It was all framed and everything. And I was like, ooh, what's this? So of course she's like, oh yeah, we're going to be making kits of that. So I didn't get the floss for this, but I have to show you this because it's so fabulous. It's by GGR. Look at that. Look at that. It was gorgeous. Just gorgeous. So I got a piece of linen. I want to say this is like hand dyed by Stephanie or something linen, but that's exactly the color. And then they had a conversion of what they used for the piece. So and it's overdyes. So I said, don't worry about kitting the floss because I can do that at home. Now, if it was already kitted, I would have gotten it that way. But since they were just starting to put the kits together. This was another one. You guys have probably seen this. This is Lone Elm Lane, and they do those fabulous boxes. This is another one that they had dulled it down. Oh, sorry, showing the chart. Anyway, sorry about that. It's cute, cute, cute. This was really cool. This was, if I can find it, I may insert a picture here. Jane Horton. And it's pretty long. And this is Needlework Press. Yes, Needlework Press. And it won't take that long. It's not a huge stitch, but it was just really cool. And there's the colors for that. You asked. This is a marking sampler. That's another one. They had the model by GGR. And it's called Anne Gould. And they had a conversion for that too, so I'll have to get the threads for that. Okay, flipping back to the cross stitch retreat. Suzette, Primitive Stitcher, is making these wonderful little books and selling them. So if you're interested, you need to contact her. She puts the little like library card in there, has the rings. The rings are aged. And then she has floss bags, floss away bags in there. So if you're working on a project, you can put your floss in here. You can list these, and she gives you a number of them, so you have more than one. And you can list your project, and then put all your stuff so that you have all that together. Stick that in your project bag. Isn't that fabulous? Plus, it's just cute. Love it. So she has those. And then she's making these books that are kind of like a little journal. They have the little clip on the outside. And then the inside is filled with pages for your stitch journal. I bought 2 of these, but I'd love to put like all my samplers in this. Not necessarily the ones I've already done. I mean, that's a tad. Isn't that just so cute? So anyway, my sister got a couple and I got a couple with these little charms. This is my first one I got. And the edges. I think she does a lot of scrapbooking stuff. And here's the other one. Looks sort of similar. Love the colors. Okay. That was in my bag, so I had to show you. Now we're back to country sampler. This one, Sister Sampler Pin Keep. This is by Stacy Nash. And this is another one that's like a giant pillow. Not giant. I think it's like 12 inches long, maybe 14. I've been wanting this pattern, and in fact, I had talked to Teresa about it. I said, I really want that pattern. I've never bought that. And so they had it all kitted at Country Sampler, and they had done it like in not gauze or a real small. It's not over 1 at there. It was a regular. And so there's all the colors on a gray linen. Really want to do that. Can't wait to do that. So it will not look like this. It's like It'll be like 10 by 10 or something. I have seen this piece on Country Samplers, which is SG for Spring Green, sgcountrysampler.com. There's also the Country Sampler that's like the catalog-y magazine type thing. So you have to make sure you put SG, Country Sampler. Alpha Block Sampler. I have been wanting to do this forever. Love it. It just looks like, it looks like a little boy's room back in like Roy Rogers' time. For those that are younger, look it up, Roy Rogers. Yeah. I'm already at 24 minutes, and that didn't include the first part. My husband's going to think I've gone on way too fast, too long. I'm going to hold some of this stuff to show you later because I'm getting like, because I had whips I want to show you and finishes. So anyway, this is another one, Mary Havens. And there again, it was totally different, the colors. The Country Sampler did. Very, not the peachy looking, but very dark and dirty, as I call it. Okay, I'm going to leave some of these out for my next video. Because otherwise, well, shoot. Excuse me. Otherwise, I'll be here 2 hours and it'll take a year to upload. And so, just remind me to show you. Okay, so these are a couple finishes that I got done. I got this done before I left. And this one I did on sterling by Picture This Plus. I want to say 36 count, but it may have been 40. I think it's 36 count. And it's a Brenda Gervais pattern called Scary Mouse. And she has a whole set of these, you know, that have the different words. I have the Noel, and I thought about getting that out and kitting that up to maybe do before Christmas. I finally finished Esther Sire. This is a Plum Street pattern. I didn't get out the pattern itself to show you, but I've showed it on other videos. This is the one that I said she really needed to go home because she had overstayed her welcome. But I finally finished all the over one. Esther Sire, S-Y-E-R. I'm pretty sure Kitten Stitcher has this on her website. And there wasn't a ton of over one, but for some reason I just kept avoiding it. And this is the one that when I first stitched it, that outer border here, the brown, I stitched entirely around the whole thing in the light brown, not the dark brown. Kept thinking, this doesn't look like that. Somebody take away the needle. Anyway, I took it all out and I redid it in the right color. Yes, call me crazy. But it just looked so much better in the right color. So that's what I did. Now it's done. She can go home. When I was at the retreat, I worked on Thursday and Friday. I worked on Halloween at Hollyberry. And that's another kit that I got. I got the spring at Hollyberry at Country Sampler. Let me just show you that real quick. I don't have the linen. I'm going to do my own thing on the linen. When I finish this one, I will have all 4 of them done. I've done Christmas. I've done summer, which is the Americana one. I'm working on Halloween, and this is spring. Hey, It's a good thing. Why not do them all? Anyway, when I was at the retreat, I started on Friday. I don't know. Either Friday or Saturday. I think it was Saturday. I started on Mary Betchel by the Scarlet House. A lot of people were already ready to start stitching Christmas, since it was so close to Christmas anyway. I mean, so close to being the end of the fall and looking toward Christmas. Did that even make sense? The retreat was at the end of October, so many people were tired of stitching fall and ready to start Christmas. So that's why I brought Mary Betchel, because the colors are very Christmassy. So I finished it this week. And this is by the Scarlet House. But look at those colors. They're so pretty. Beautiful red. This is done in Belsois silks and Vintage Light Exemplar by Lakeside Linens. 36 count. Probably. I don't think it's 40. I think it's 36. I don't even know where I am. Okay. One other thing I want to show you from Country Sampler, and the rest will wait. But this was one of the things they had a sample or a model stitched. It was so cute. And they're just starting to put out a lot of their Christmas things. I know Farm Girl was stitching the plaid. Well, it's a horse. The horse isn't plaid, but it has a plaid blanket on it. So if you go to her Instagram or Facebook, I don't know where I saw it. But this is another one that I thought was adorable. I think this is all solid stitching down here. That'll be fun. Okay. I have so much stuff here, and I'm not sure what I'm going to get to. So let me show you a couple things. I have a ton of whips. This is one of the things I want to finish before. This is what you call your basic headless Santa. This is done on 7 count Clostern maybe. And this is the Prairie Schooler Santa 2016. And you do it on this, and you use the Pearl Cotton number 3. There's the colors. It's the same colors. They're just the Pearl Cotton. And you use a big old needle. It goes very fast. I started last year headless, footless Santa. And, or the one-armed headless, footless Santa. And the beard is Whisper. So I want to get that done. You make it into a pillow. So that'll be fun. If I show you all these, it'll be like 10 hours later. I'm going to go through really fast, okay? Because I really want to show them to you. This is a whip, and most of these are samplers. This is the Scarlet House, Ellen Strick. I have a start. It's done with Tudor Silks, and it's on 46 count something from Lakeside Linens. This, and the reason I'm showing all these, because I'm not sure what I'm going to stitch next. I just finished that Mary Betchel. Last night I worked a little bit more on Hollybrook Farm, but this is Esther Idison. This is from Chessie and Me. This was a stitch along through Country Sampler. This is how far I am. So I need to, these are all stuff that I really want to finish. Okay. This is Eliza Mitchell by Lottie Da. I usually do the border first. Once in a while, if the border starts boring me, I'll work on something within the body of it. And I think I don't know. The threads, I had them out, but they disappeared. This is the, oops. This is Plum Street's Pink House Sampler. This is some of these samplers I started some in the spring and some were at Mania. I have a start on the border on that. And I have part of that box done. I'd like to get back to that. These are the colors. Pinks, kind of cranberries, pretty greens. And here we have Halloween at Hollyberry. These are the threads, just your basic black, orange, off-white, cream. And this is how far I am on this. This fabric, everybody was intrigued by this fabric when I was stitching on it. It looks hand-dyed. I know it's R&R, 18th century rook, which is what it called for. And there were some people there that had some 18th century rook that did not look like this. It looked like the back, which was more of a plain greenish. But mine, and then there was one gal who did have a piece of 18th century rook that did look like this. So it was kind of weird. But anyway, by R&R. So I have the border almost done. I'm coming around here on the fence. Not sure the border's going to match up, and I'm not taking anything out if it doesn't. So I'm going this way on the fence, and then I'll adjust if I have to when I get there. Quaker Garden, another whip by Blackbird. Some of these I've shown you before. This one I actually worked on the airplane on the way because I wanted a really small project I could work on. A couple people gave this as their smallest gift. It's really cute. So I kind of hate to not finish it since it's so small, so I'll probably do this first. Isabella Fox by GGR, another Adam and Eve. Am I going too fast? I told you I was going to go fast. Have a good portion of that done. This is the one I wasn't sure, I think I mentioned before, whether to keep them pink or go to the beige, which it calls for Adam and Eve. Not sure. That was kind of what stalled me on that one. This is Anne Grimshaw by Scarlet Letter. Kitten Stitcher, she showed that. She was working on it too. She was working on it in the airport, which I thought was really commendable. It's a big piece, all done in black. Need to get back to that. This is Be Diligent by Needlework Press. I really want to get back to this. And that's done in anchor threads. I think it called for DMC and I converted it. I'm going to show you. Oh. Then we have a couple things that I want to do. So those are whips. This is going to be some things that I have kitted and ready to go. This is a Brenda Gervais with thy needle and thread, peppermint and holly. I have 36 count 36. Ooh, that looks purple. It's not purple. It's gray. Ooh. Not purple at all. I want to do that before Christmas. I have some of that red twiny stuff, the red and white twiny stuff to put on the edge. This is this is Merry and Bright, actually called Ho Ho Ho, also by Brenda Gervais with Thy Needle and Thread. This is a piece of Dapple by Picture This Plus, 36 count. I haven't picked my red on this, but I'm going to do a brighter red than, I think it called for a darker red or orangier red. Yeah, brick. And I'm not going to do brick. I'm going to do like Schoolhouse Red or something. This is another one that I want to kit up and work on. This is Neela that sat next to me at the retreat. She was working on this. In fact, she finished it while she was there. Very cute. Shakespeare's Peddler. Jenny Bean's Christmas Sampler. So I need to get the threads for that. This is another one that I want to get the threads for and do before Christmas. These go pretty fast. It's like that Boo. I think it only took me like 3 nights, maybe 4. No, 3 maybe. Obviously this will take longer because there's more letters in Noel than there is in Boo. I have so much other stuff I could show you, but I'm going to wait. Okay, the only other thing I'm going to show you is 2 pieces that I picked up from Heart's Desire when I was in Wichita. Because after we left Minneapolis, we drove to Kansas City and stayed at my brother's house. And then we left on that. So by that time, that was Tuesday night. And then Wednesday we drove back to Wichita. So I was in Wichita from Wednesday, and then I flew home early on Tuesday. So I was there part of Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and Monday. Heart's Desire is closed on Sunday and Monday. So, and my sister had her grandchildren on Friday and Saturday. So Thursday was kind of my only option. So by the time we got to Heart's Desire, I picked up my pieces, but I didn't really have time to look at framing. And so I think I'm going to send her some and just have her, show me some options because she does a beautiful job. And that's who did these pieces that I'm going to show you. So anyway, the first one, I did this a long time ago, and it was one of those ones I just hadn't gotten framed. It's by, oh shoot, now I don't know. It's Snapperville. I can't remember if it's Bent Creek or Lizzie Kate. I think it's Lizzie Kate. But if I'm wrong, somebody correct me. I didn't get out the patterns. But it's pretty big. And I really, really like how it turned out. She does a really nice job of framing. Teach us that we may feel the importance of every day, every hour as it passes. And then it's kind of, like it's a town. Snapperville. You got your school, your church. It's very cute. And it's called Snapperville because there's actually snaps that you put in. So, to me, that'd be kind of tricky to frame, but she did a great job. And the other piece that I have is My Liberty Welcome that she framed for me. And this was one that I've shown you along the way, and I showed it when it was finished, and now I'm showing you that this is called my Faff, finished and framed. And I got that same star frame that I just love it. Love it, love it, love it, love it. I think I have 3 pieces now framed in that, and I really like it. So anyway, I'm going to show you one other thing that I want to get done soon, and this is a quilt top that I need to quilt. It's blocks. This pattern, since some people like to ask, is Winter Haven. It's by the Shop Girls. So if you'll call Country Sampler, They are the shop girls are the country sampler gals. I did not make it as big because I wanted to use it as a table topper. So it's a pretty bright Christmas red, trees, and then it's set on point. So I need to get this quilted, bound, so I can put it on the dining room table here for Christmas. One other thing, the wonderful gal that won my last giveaway was Lynn Benchick, and she was so kind to send me a little happy mail thank you for her her giveaway. Isn't that cute on the little scissors? So she had sent me a message that it was on its way, and when I got it, I was just thrilled. I think it is so cute. I love the fabric. It's made so well. Love it. Love it, love it, love it. So all in all, I had a wonderful trip. You can tell by the dining room table now, it's like full. It was great, and I'm glad to be home. I have a lot of quilting to do. I think I had 8 quilts to do. And the beginning of this week, I was back up to 16. I've done 5 this week. And so that just keeps going and going. I got 3 more quilts today. So probably I'll get another one when the last customer comes in a little bit. So I know this video is a little longer than I normally do, but I wanted to show you all my goodies. And I'll have some of them that I'll have to show you next time. But SG Country Sampler, if you want to go visit their site. I still have not finished my project roll. I've been remiss in not finishing it. But next time, I'm hoping to do one the week of Thanksgiving or shortly after. And then show you my Christmas things and some of the frame pieces I have for Christmas. And I'll show you the rest of the country sampler then. And hold me to it because I really want to do that. And hopefully I'll have my project roll done by then. So all that to say, it's been wonderful. I hope you're having a wonderful fall. I hope you're going to have a great November. And that's all I have. Love you. Bye.